1988 Olympics. First set, 3.7 to 4.5.
Some of these marks are disappointingly low for them. They really need to step up the quality of their skating and the difficulty.
Yeah, the 3.7, not what they want to see for presentation. 3.8, so not much higher, up to 4.6. But it's the two-time and reigning champions, Lang and Chernyshев, in the lead right now after the original dance, ahead of Handra and Sinek, who are in a good spot for the silver as well as the second place on the World Championship team. Belbin and Augusto round out the top three. The leaders have been joined by Peter Carruthers right now. Peter?
Okay, Terry. Well, Naomi, 3 5.9s. What does that mean to your ice dancing?
Well, in OD, that's just so special to us. We've never gotten 5.9s in ODs before, so it's very, very exciting.
Now, the coaching change. Talk about that. How has that impacted you in such a positive way?
It was such a great help. I mean, in every way, basically. I think that emotionally and physically we're in much better shape, and we're getting so much more support from Alexander. Everything's great.
Excellent. Well, good luck going into the free dance. Congrats.
Thank you.
Terry, back to you.
All right, Peter, thank you. 8th in the world last season and now going for their 3rd straight national title. You can see that free dance Saturday evening over on ABC Sports, along with Michelle Kwan and the ladies skating for gold with their free skate. Our coverage begins at 9 o'clock Eastern and Pacific time on ABC. Much more to come tonight from Boston, though. When we come back, the pairs will begin their quest for a national title. That's when we come back to the Fleet Center. Welcome you back inside the Fleet Center. The Celtics and the Bruins out of town. It's all about figure skating this week. The State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships, the pairs getting set now for their short program. Terry Gannon back with you. We are only just beginning from Boston. Remember, we're with you throughout the week and the weekend. Friday evening at 7 o'clock Eastern over on ESPN. You've got the men with Todd Eldridge and Timothy Gable and Michael Weiss. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2, Michelle Kwan and the ladies, their short programs. And over on ABC Sports Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, we've got the championship free skates. Right now, as the pairs get set to go, we welcome in one of New England's own, Peter Carruthers, the Olympic silver medalist. Peter, you look at this field here for the pairs, the 99 U.S. champions, Danielle and Steve Hartzell, one of the favorites. They were out last year because of an injury. Danielle fractured her knee. They missed this event. A rocky start now already here in Boston.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bad luck has continued for the Hartzels here at the U.S. Skating Championships in Boston. The bad luck started with a very bad fall on a lift. Danielle falling 8 feet out of the air on top of Steven's head. Off to the hospital he went 14 stitches later, and a doctor's release saying, yes, you can skate. He wanted to skate. She wanted to skate. There they are in practice earlier today. Now they're backstage warming up. They're ready to compete, believe it or not. Down but not out. Pair skating, a very dangerous sport.
We're reminded of that all the time. He had a CAT scan, by the way. He did not have a concussion, no further damage, so he is set to go. I'm thrilled to welcome in right now the 5-time U.S. champion Peggy Fleming. And we were just talking about this before we went on. The 20th year now behind the microphone. How did that happen so quickly?
I don't know how that happened. It just happened.
Overnight, as a matter of fact. You are one who's always embodied the grace of figure skating. What about the danger, though? You know well about that, too.
Well, Terry, you know what strikes me most about all of this is the courage that pair skaters have. Not only do they need the skills of a single skater, but they also need the guts to throw your partner in the air or be thrown. And in addition to the artistry and flow and strength, a pair skater needs bravery. And I think we tend to forget that. But on a happier note, our reigning national champions, Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman, are finally breaking through on the world level. They made the podium at Trophy Lalique this fall, and I expect them to defend their title here. It's been a long struggle for Kyoko and John, but they're beginning to look like champions.
And that Trophy Lalique competition, a major event earlier this season, and the Grand Prix Series. Well, Peter, as always, there are 8 required elements in the pairs short program.
And one of the spectacular moves to look for is the split double twist, where the lady has to attain a full split before completing 2 rotations.
Our next competitors represent the University of Delaware Figure Skating Club in Newark, Delaware. Let's have a warm welcome now for Laura Handy and Jonathan Hunt.
So here we go, the first pair to take the ice. They have only been together for some 6 months now. Laura Handy and Jonathan Hunt.
And I think their styles are very similar, and I think he's a good match for Laura.
Laura Handy knows all about the danger in this sport. You may remember last year with her former partner, Paul Vinabose, had a frightening crash in practice. Paul fractured his skull.
Very nice opening split, double twist. Good height, good extension on that split.
Testing the single skills, the side-by-side triple toe loops, and she has a hard fall.
Follow up on that story. Paul Vinabose nearly died after that fall in practice. Happy to say that he has recovered. He was coaching for a while in Sugar Land, Texas. By all accounts, his career over, but we hear now that he is starting to practice for what could be a comeback, and actually against the advice of some of his coaches, his former coaches, but we do certainly wish him well. Laura Handy has come back very well emotionally from that experience.
Now the throw triple Salchow. The timing has to be just right. You don't want to throw your partner too hard. Nice timing there. Judges looking for the unison, making sure that the skaters are spinning together at the same rate of speed.
Very nice death spiral extension. Their final pair spin.
An unfortunate mistake for them that will definitely take points off of the first mark of required elements, a fall on the side-by-side triple toes, but there's potential there.
So the pair short program opening up with 20-year-old Laura Handy from Atlantic City and 19-year-old Jonathan Hunt from Rochester, Michigan.
Tough for the judges when you watch pair skating because you have to look at two people performing the jump. Here are the side-by-side triple toe loops. He lands his, but you can see she does indeed fall. A 3/10 deduction right there. And again, the timing is very important. They have a nice throw triple Salchow, good coverage across the ice. She wants to strengthen her back a little more on that landing, but well done.
Insist that there be no flash photography for the safety of
This is the backward
skaters.
outside
Thank
death
you for your
spiral. The lady
cooperation.
wants to put her left hip up in the air right there and arch the back. That's called the bridge.
There's a look at the panel of 9 judges who will offer their decisions here tonight. Peter, remember there are 8 required elements. What about the deductions they'll be taking?
Well, remember in skating, we work off of a perfect mark of 6.0. For example, if a pair falls on a throw jump, they take a 3/10 deduction, or a stumble during steps, 1 to 2/10.
Their coaches alongside Tracy Politis on the right, and Ron Lunnington, who coached Peter and his sister Kitty to 4 U.S. titles, right? 4 national championships. And now the first of 2 sets of marks for required elements, 4.5 up to 5.1.
Well, I think they have a lot of potential. And their body line is very similar, and she got wonderful height on those throw jumps. And their side-by-side jumps in practice were very good.
Presentation marks now, wide range here, 4.9 to 5.6.
Well, indeed, these do come up because that does not reflect the mistake on the fall.
There are the marks for Laura Handy and Jonathan Hunt. When we come back, it's the 99 U.S. champions on the comeback trail again. Danielle and Steve Hartzell break the ice next. There's Danielle, and In terms of Steve's head, you can see the effects of the fall Tuesday in practice. He talked to us earlier this afternoon about what went through his mind during that crash.
We're taught when we first learn lifts, since the girl's a lot higher up in the air, to try to protect her at first, and then try to protect ourselves second, since the girl has a lot farther to fall. And that's basically what I was thinking. I wanted her to be okay first, and then I tried to protect myself, but I guess it didn't work too well.
I don't think anyone can understand that he's my brother as well as my partner. We've been skating together for 14 years, but he's been my brother my whole life, and to see him in pain, it just killed me, and I couldn't do anything for him.
Representing the Detroit Skating Club in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, let's have a warm Boston welcome for Daniel Hartzell and Steve Hartzell.
Translation is that he was doing everything he could to break her fall to reduce the impact.
Out last year with the fractured knee that Danielle suffered. It's supposed to be a smooth comeback. It has been anything but here they go.
Skating to the music of Toccata and Fugue by Bach. And they open with this back outside death spiral.
With all that's happened to this team, now they must focus on the difficult side-by-side triple toe loops. Here they are. How about that?
Good for them.
Wow. What focus.
You can just feel this crowd really pulling for them. They want them to do well and be safe.
But lifting's got to be a little bit scary, but they are not holding back. Very nice.
Not yet over the mental recuperation, recovery, call it what you will, of that fall last season. Danielle says she still thinks about it every time she goes up in the air.
And as we know, in skating, that mental game is a real tough game. Transitions in the spiral sequence.
Two elements left in their short program. This, the split double twist. And one of the more difficult moves in pair skating. Coming up right here, they'll end with the throw triple Salchow. She'll rotate 3 times, hoping to land backwards on one foot. She does. What a triumph for them.
Good. And that nice held edge to this in position.
You're darn right.
So happy for them.
A lot of courage in that performance. And this crowd well aware of what they have been through. Not only a figure skating crowd, but here in Boston since that fall, it has gotten a lot of coverage. The injury and the 14 stitches sustained by Steve Hartzell.
Doesn't that tell a lot about the character that these two have? How close they are, how much trust they have in one another. Outstanding.
And this is where they first tested their courage here tonight, was the side-by-side triple toe loop. Very difficult, and they just nailed these. They were done so well, and the crowd really got with them at this point. And at the final move in their program, this throw triple Salchow, look at the good height she gets. Very much in control in this landing, and this nice held edge right to this ending position. It was so nice.
just a bit out of breath
The
right
judges
now,
mark
Danielle and
Daniel
Steve
Hartzell
Hartzell.
and Steve Hartzell
But
for
these
required
should be
elements.
very high marks.
5.4,
You can see how excited they are already. The first set, 5.4 to 5.6.
Well, you know, the marks are one thing, but what they have done is skated very well under adverse conditions. It just shows that they're totally trained and able to
And
focus
their marks
under
for
any circumstance.
presentation, 5.5.
You really never know how you're going to compete under the pressure after coming back off of something like that. Presentation marks now 5.2 to 5.7.
And I think they did focus on this program and really gave it a lot of emotion, and the audience really felt that. And the
Terrific,
judges.
terrific way to open up the national championships.
One, 2, 3.
You can hear John counting.
6.
The key to this is
two,
that each
three.
time Kyoko hears him count, she wants to make sure she's facing him. That's what keeps the spin together.
Another pair team representing the Detroit Skating Club. Here are Stephanie Kalasavich and Aaron Parcham.
The pair short program continues here in Boston. Terry Gannon, Peggy Fleming, and Peter Carruthers ringside as Stephanie Kalsavich and Aaron Parcham take the ice. Their second season together, their first trip to the Senior National Championships. They're the 2000 U.S. Junior Champions.
They're skating to the music from the motion picture Gravity of Love, performed by Enigma.
Boy, are they building up nice speed going into the split double twist. Great height. Look at the coverage of ice. Wonderful.
Now into this throw, triple Salchow. Good height. Wonderful control on that landing. Good speed.
Pretty impressive start to their careers together. I mean, they've only been together since May of '99. They won the U.S. Junior title.
Again, that lift traveling a long distance on the ice. Very nice. In the pair spin, one change of foot, one change of position. And the pair team has to hit a minimum of 8 revolutions while spinning.
Stephanie, only 16 years of age, from Rochester Hills, Michigan. Aaron, 23, from Chicago.
And now coming up side-by-side triple Salchows, which is a more difficult move than the triple toes. Other couples have been doing this, and she had trouble on that landing.
Stumbling there, two-footed.
But it was a nice, ambitious attempt.
But I really do enjoy their stroking. In other words, the crossovers they have going into the various elements. The foundation of skating is very good.
And this is their final move, this outside death spiral.
And they energize the crowd.
They
People
certainly did.
can really pick up when they're seeing good skating. They had some mistakes, but again, a very solid foundation of skating within this pair.
Terrific start to the program, too. They didn't sustain it
yes.
maybe for 2 minutes and 40 seconds, but they did get the crowd energized right away. Stephanie Kalsavich and Aaron Parcham here in the pair short program.
Take a look at the size of this throw triple Salchow. Not only does she travel a long way across the distance, but she's about 3 feet in the air there. Perfect position, straight up and down. That allows for a perfect landing. Wonderful. But they did get into trouble here. These are the side-by-side triple Salchows. 3 rotations for each partner. He lands his, but she puts her foot down, and there will be a 2/10 deduction.
4.9,
Their coaches, Mitch Moyer on the right, Johnny Johns on the left. Now, the first set of marks, these should be pretty high, 4.8 up to 5.3.
5.3, and
Well, with the mistake that occurred on her triple Salchow, that cannot be ignored.
And their marks for presentation.
You don't want to open the door
5.1,
with a mistake like that.
5.2,
Presentation marks now 5.1 to 5.5, so those are better. That's a pretty good short program, all said and done. That Stephanie Kalsavich and Erin Parcham now into 3rd place overall. Up next, Tiffany Scott and Philip Dulabon, one of the many teams affected, having been at practice when Steve Hartzell had his fall on Tuesday. They know how dangerous pair skating can be.
I think what we do is risky. I think there's always a risk involved with skating pairs, and it's dangerous. And you have to be, prepared, and you have to be sharp. And even then, obviously, with the case this week, you never know, because the Hartzels were, I'm sure, very prepared for this week, and they're in great shape, and still that can happen. So it's just, we've been very lucky, I think, so far.
Meanwhile, Steve Hartzell has now told us it was 12 stitches he received in his head. He and Danielle, his sister, are now with Susie Wynn. Susie?
Thanks, Terry. Stephen, yesterday was a very difficult day. You had a hard practice, a tough fall, and 12 stitches. How did you pull this great performance out of the bag?
Well, coming in this competition, we knew we were extremely prepared for this competition. We worked harder than I ever think we've worked before in our lives. And today we drew on that. We've done this program, like the last couple of weeks, we've been skating clean pretty much every day, and we knew we could do it. It was just a matter of getting on the warm-up and getting my feet under me and making sure, and just knowing how it was going to feel out there. And once I knew that, I knew we were fine.
Now, going into the free program, did this give you a lot of confidence going into that?
Oh, definitely. We wanted to have a good skate tonight, and I think we feel really great about the way we skated, and we're ready for Friday.
Well, super. Good luck to you in the free program.
Thank you.
Terry, back to you.
All right, Susie, so the pairs short program continues now as Tiffany Scott and Philip Dulabon take the ice.
Please welcome Tiffany Scott and Philip Dulabon.
They're the reigning U.S. silver medalists, and they went on to the World Championships in Nice, where they had a top 10 finish. They placed 9th there. Certainly one of the favorites to challenge for the gold medal here.
And they're skating to their last year's program, so they're very familiar with this program. And our first element in this short program is a side-by-side triple toe loop.
Oh, and she has a tough fall. They have strong skating, but they really have to hit or miss. Nerves creeping in.
Now they have to let that go and go on with this program. Tiffany has twisted her knee, and she has been wearing a brace in practice. But I'm sure that that might be an element in the performance tonight.
Well, it gets repetitive to talk about these injuries, but they're so prevalent in the sport now. And besides the injured knee that Tiffany suffered, Philip Dulabon, competing with a fracture in his left wrist. He originally sustained that when he was 17. It really never felt the same. Over the summer, he had the wrist examined, and the verdict was that the bone was broken, never fully healed. He may have off-season surgery on that.
Very nice overhead lift, nice smooth transition.
Throw triple Salchow. Not quite on with the jumps in terms of singles jumping or within the throws.
Spiral sequence seems a little shaky.
You know, that's a tough program to perform, a lot of interesting steps, but the timing was not right. It was a little bit rushed, and when that happens, you can run into trouble, especially the kind of trouble she ran into on her jump.
Tiffany Scott, a native of New England from Hanson, Massachusetts. A lot of folks here to watch her skate, along with Philip Dulabon from Germantown, Maryland.
And this was the opening element in the short program, the triple toe loops, in which she gets up there and does not finish that rotation. And you can see she didn't hold on to that landing. And that's going to be a 0.3 deduction. And now this back press lift, which I think is very, very nice. A beautiful position right there. And it's a real nice transition with all these changes of positions. Very nice extension on her part. Nice smooth layout.
5.3, 5.1.
The Hartzels, the 99 U.S. champs, in the lead so far, but now the scores for Scott and Dulabon, the required elements, 5.0 to 5.3.
And certainly the first mark for required elements reflecting that deduction.
And their
that's a
marks for
disappointment for them to have a fall like that.
5.6.
Remember, the short program worth 1/3 of the overall score. Presentation marks now, 5.4 to 5.7 the range. So Scott and Dulabon in the second place, right behind the Hartzels. Up next, the current U.S. bronze medalist, Larissa Spielberg and Craig Gilwright, set to go when we come back to Boston.
Welcome now, Larissa Spielberg and Craig Gilwright.
Back at the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships, the Hartzels in the lead over Scott and Dulabon, then Handy and Hunt in third right now, as the current U.S. bronze medalists take the ice. Larissa Spielberg, 20 years old, from East Lansing, Michigan, and Craig Gilwright, 22, from Cleveland.
Skating to the music by Rodrigo. And this pair team has nice energy, and they really connect well as a team.
All pairs must perform this move, the backward outside death spiral. It's hard to do because the lady must twist her body into an unnatural position to get that look.
And now coming up are the side-by-side double axels. She's been having trouble with them in the practices this week. Here they go for this forward outside takeoff. Oh,
yes, and
that's what she's been doing.
Not as difficult as side-by-side triple jump, so that's always factored into the equation.
Remember how important this event is. Not only is it the national championship, but there are 2 spots open on the world team as well. And only 2.
Throw, triple loop, right backward outside edge, and there you've got to really stop the rotation and have a smooth, continuous edge on the exit. That did not occur there. 2 big mistakes so far.
And this is a gorgeous lift. She hit such a beautiful position at the top of that. Looked so easy. Together, though, over the ice. The flow and body line is matched so well.
Larissa coming off a fractured wrist, which kept them off the ice from August until mid-October. Then she injured her foot. It took them entirely out of the Grand Prix Series, so this is their first major competition of the season. Larissa Spielberg and Craig Gilwright.
Now on this double axel, Watch as she gets up into the air, but she really just doesn't get the height, and she'll collapse on the landing. No chance to land that. 3/10 there. Unfortunate.
Golden opportunity perhaps wasted
3.9
tonight here in Boston by Spielberg and Joe Wright. The first set, a 3.9 to a 4.6.
They know it. It's just so unfortunate because when you combine all those deductions, 6/10, so that really brings the first mark way down.
But I love this couple. I see a lot of potential in them, and I think we're going to see more of them in the future.
Presentation marks much better, 4.7 up to 5.4, but that's a disappointing performance.